My 28 male girlfriend, 25 female, is constantly criticizing my food choices and it's causing a big problem in our relationship. Maybe she just wants you to be healthy? This is a long post with background info, so bear with me. Goody, we love context on this channel. My girlfriend and I have been going out for 10 months now, and about 6 months in, I lost my job due to COVID. So we were spending a lot more time together, and I think this is when she noticed my diet. A couple of disclaimers before I go further. First, I freely admit my diet was not the best before I met her.
Oh, that might be the problem.
Second, her dad is a diabetic, so I think that's where some of this coming from. A lot of people aren't educated about what they eat, and others are much more aware of it. So it actually makes sense she picked up on it, especially because you guys were together 24/7 at that point. Anyways, long story short, I changed my diet at her urging a good deal. I cut back heavily on fried food, down to once or twice a month from multiple times a week. Added more fruits and vegetables, apple and banana every day at least, along with veggies multiple times a week, where before it was very little. And I also cut back on pasta and added in more turkey, chicken and fish. Wow, that's a huge change, not just a few tweaks. But the thing is with diets that a lot of people forget, they only will work if you keep them up for the rest of your life. I think it works much better if you eat whatever you want, you just have a good portion control. For reference, I'm not skinny, but I'm not obese either. I could stand to lose about 15 or 20 pounds since the pandemic started, but otherwise I'm completely healthy and she knows this. For her diet, she eats exclusively fish, chicken and Caesar salad while exercising an hour per day. I am unable to exercise that much due to bad knees that I both inherited and previously injured, which she is also aware of.
You sure, bro?
Okay, so her diet is chicken, fish, and Caesar salad. I'm sorry, but where is the fiber? Her diet is a pretty restrictive routine, but it won't make automatically better. And the exercise thing, I'm not fully buying those hard limitations. I get the knee injury, but all you have to do is walking. Just move your body. It's a completely natural movement, but it's good enough to keep you in shape if you do it consistently. However, over the past month or so, she started heavily criticizing my diet again, unprompted to the point where she does it every single meal she sees me eat.
But why?
Okay, no, this is where she crossed the line. You already made changes, so at this point, it doesn't seem like she's trying to help you. It looks like she's trying to control you. And honestly, if diet and exercise is such a big deal for her, then you guys are not a match. Things like, do you really need that much bread? When it would be my second piece at a restaurant and she eats the rest of the basket.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Or you already had red meat this week. Things like that. Whenever I hold firm, she immediately starts acting like a child who doesn't get her way. She'll start blaming me, saying it's my fault we are arguing. So she's asking you if you want more bread while she's eating the rest of the basket? That is so weird. I really don't like her behavior. She seems super controlling. Just because you don't follow her orders, that doesn't mean you're causing conflict. She'll say she's unhappy and that she can't take much more of this and other things that threaten the relationship. Great. Then break up and find someone who fits more with your lifestyle. I point out very obvious double standard, but that only makes her angrier. And as this is my first relationship, I don't know what to do but let it go for fear of making it worse. First relationship or not, you're not supposed to feel like you're walking on eggshells every single disagreement. I think this isn't about fixing it anymore. It's about recognizing that the dynamic isn't working. I finally decided enough was enough when on Friday we went out on a date night. That was also a trip to pick up a cake for her parents' birthday at a restaurant she had never been to. We are from different towns and she lives 40 minutes away. Also, my mom got this cake and brought it one time and my girlfriend really liked it. I decided to get the roast prime rib as I hadn't had it in a very long time from there. She immediately questions it and I stand my ground, so to speak, but I also get broccoli with it to calm her down. She then starts crying as soon as the waitress leaves and says things like, "I don't want to be here, I just want to go home."
Mom, I want to go home.
And if you get mad at me, I'm going to call my dad to pick me up. All while still crying. I basically told her that this has to stop and that I can't deal with her criticizing my meals every day. No, because that's crazy. Her reaction is not a proportionate response on what happened at the table. Fast forward to after the worst dinner I've ever had and we make it back to her parents' house. I got to her mom thinking maybe she can talk some sense into her because I've been trying to do it for the past week with no success and tell her what happened. Her mom agrees with me and basically says to my girlfriend, "You can't tell other people what to do. It's going to make them do the opposite, and if you continue to do this, you can't be in a relationship with anyone." She's not wrong. Yesterday she was fine and it seemed like she had taken the message to heart. However, at dinner tonight she went right back to her old self and I feel like I'm out of options. I don't want to break up with her because I still love her, but I can't take the constant criticism. But that's the thing, my dude. She can't make you change into the version she wants you to be. Also, you cannot force her to stop this constant criticism. You cannot change people. If you're not okay with them the way they are, the relationship is doomed. I have a million other things to worry about now between working a full-time job again. That is actually a career and going to school full-time as well on top of that than to have to worry about what is my girlfriend going to think about this choice. What you say is completely valid. That's why I'm saying you guys shouldn't be together. I know this may seem silly, but it has gotten to the point where 95% of our fights are this issue. And I feel like I'm doing nothing but sitting, eating, and minding my own business. I have already done on almost 180 from where my diet previously was, and I've pointed this out to her many times. I feel like if I give in to her, she'll just find something to criticize about my next meal, and it will be a never-ending cycle. I'm really at my breaking point and I don't know what to do. Any help is much appreciated. I can't say anything else beyond what I already pointed out. You guys are not a good match and you have two options. Either you leave the relationship or you stay and get used to this treatment. We have some relevant comments, so let's see what Reddit thinks. This is who she is. You've talked to her about it multiple times and even had her mom talk to her about it and she hasn't changed. She obviously isn't willing to stop this behavior. Your only real options are to break up, just put up with the constant criticism and fighting, or stop fighting her on it and just let her choose all your meals for you. Personally, I'd break up, but if you don't want to do that, your only other option is to just live with her dictating your diet.
Girl, facts.
She's obviously not interested in stopping her behavior. This commenter is pointing out exactly what's happening in this relationship. And those are the options you have. But I think if you want to be happy, there is only one answer that makes sense in this situation: to break up with her. Next commenter, I'm a registered dietitian and it sounds like she has some symptoms of disordered eating. The need to be in control and the obsession with healthy food suggest orthorexia. I'm not qualified to make a diagnosis, but I strongly suspect she needs professional help from a dietitian or perhaps a therapist. I am sorry to hear you are both struggling. I am not educated on this topic, so we're just gonna jump into the update. Hi all, first, thank you for all the advice. I honestly thought I would get responses along the lines of deal with it, it's not a big deal.
Well, it is a big deal. Okay, it's a very big deal, man.
But the advice you all have given has really helped. I had a conversation with her before leaving for work and basically put my foot down for real. She said that she will stop, but I have my doubts. For those of you who said that she may have orthorexia or another eating disorder, after reading the symptoms, I am inclined to agree with you. But speaking from experience, bringing it up to her or her parents will only lead to firm denials and a refusal to seek help. The eating disorder angle makes the situation definitely more complicated. But your boundary still matters. She cannot control you like that. With that in mind, I have reserved a rental SUV. I have a Camaro which does not have enough trunk space for my stuff at my local place for Saturday to bring what I have back to my mom's house in case her behavior doesn't change. I have also started looking at apartments near my new job since it requires me to live in the county as a condition of employment on the chance that this doesn't work out. I am not tossing in the towel on the relationship, but I figure it's better to be prepared just in case, and I can always cancel the rental. Once again, thank you all for the comments, advice, and support. I really am grateful. I will post a separate update on Saturday to let you all know what happens. That sounds like you're trying to stay grounded instead of getting caught in uncertainty. At the same time, you're still trying to leave space for things to improve. OP has a second update, so we're gonna see what happened next. So I know I said I would post an update that Saturday and I didn't, and I apologize for that. We are fine, don't worry about that. Life got busy and I forgot to do so. Anyways, on the update, after speaking with her, she actually did stop trying to control my diet. She didn't make any comments about my diet or what I choose to eat. Those are excellent news, OP. I think me standing up to her made her realize I was serious and that the relationship was going to be over if she continued with the behavior. Long story short though, we broke up in July of this year over other issues that clearly made us incompatible. Yeah, that's probably for the best. I realized that it was a toxic relationship and much of her other behaviors were manipulative, which one of the original commenters pointed out. And straight up just childish. She and her family were also very entitled and could do no wrong in her eyes since they came from a lot of money. It's fine, you guys just weren't meant to be. It was your first relationship and I'm sure you learned so much from it. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. The good news is that I'm currently in a relationship with someone who is so much better in every way. I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations, OP. It's literally like I'm dating the female version of me. We have so much in common, think about things, and view the world the same way. It's only been a little over a month of officially dating, but things are going really great so far, and I have high hopes for a future together in whatever form that may be. The funny thing is, after my breakup, I said to myself and those around me that I wouldn't be dating for a while, most likely into next year, and then this relationship fell into my lap when I wasn't even looking for one. It's crazy how things work out. Thank you again to everyone who commented on the original post. Turns out most of you were right that I should have ended the relationship right then. I truly believe though that if I had done it, I would not have found the woman I have found now. I'm really happy for you, OP. I wish you and your girlfriend to have an amazing time together. Relevant comments. Good for you. Please remember this from your earlier post. What is my girlfriend going to think about this choice? Don't date someone that you have to walk on eggshells around. My first relationship when I was a teenager was full of this. So luckily, I learned at an early age. You are starting a bit later than I did, so just make sure to remember this. OP's answer. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely learned a valuable lesson. Next commenter, I take it the ex hasn't made things easy. OP's answer, the days following the breakup, no, she didn't. Her parents intervened too and made things even more difficult in terms of getting back some of my stuff.
Bombastic side-eye. Criminal offensive side-eye.
After that, I haven't heard from any of them and I haven't tried to contact them, which is for the best. Yeah, it's definitely for the best. That it sounds so toxic though. To be fair, everything about her sounded crazy toxic. Thankfully, she was just a short chapter in your life and not your end game. Next commenter, when you eat and order things in front of the new person, is it relaxing now? OP's answer, very much so. We like and eat a lot of the same foods. She's also from a different country, so she's been introducing me to some foods from her country. I love that for you. This is exactly how it feels like when you find someone who is your match. Never forget that, OP. Some bullies just need a grandma hug. I have a grandson. I'll call him Sam, 14. Oh, so this is from the grandma's point of view. I love it. We've been pretty close through the years. Since he was just a few months old, my husband and I have kept him overnight, watched him for several days at a time while his parents vacationed, etc. He'd come visit for 2 or 3 nights a few times a year, as he should. His parents divorced, and as he became an adolescent, he became withdrawn and distant. But I found that he seemed to love to hear stories of the hilarious things he said and done when he was little. He would sit and listen and be engaged with me for at least a while. I've tried hard to keep a connection without being pushy. I think it's very important to not being pushy, at least when he's in this age. Teenagers often resist things that feels emotional, even when they are still deeply care. The fact that you are aware of this is fantastic. He's been playing sports for years, and we make it to at least a game or 2 per sport each season to see him play. He'd come give me a hug after each game. My stepdaughter, his mom, told me she was amazed that he would hug me in public. I was the only person he'd hug at his game, including her. I was pretty proud of this, but it almost came to an end after one game last summer. I'm curious, what happened on that game? My husband and I showed up, and Sam was very happy to see us. After the game, he ran out, and as he gave me a hug, I heard a nearby voice. "Look everyone, isn't that sweet? Sam's hugging his grandma." I felt Sam tense up, and he immediately ended the hug. That is so unfair. I hate bullies so much. To be fair, he is probably just jealous. I bet nobody came to see him playing. Or maybe he didn't even make the team, and that's why he's just lashing out. I was not going to let that little turd ruin those special hugs. So I turned to the kid who taunted Sam, grabbed him in a bear hug and exclaimed, "Oh, are you jealous? You must need a grandma hug too." That is the most epic reaction ever. The kid just stood there stunned for a couple seconds, long enough for a couple of Sam's friends to start in. "Jake, get your own grandma. Dude, you're creepy." He turned beet red and ran off.
I'm out!
We heard through my stepdaughter that Jake was kind of a jerk who always found reasons to pick on his teammates. And Sam and his friends thought what I did to him was hilarious. So far, Sam still gives me hugs. Grandma hug for the win. I hope Jake learned a valuable lesson that day. Bullying doesn't make you cool, it makes you an I'm happy you still get your special hugs from Sam. You guys have a really special connection, that's for sure. And yes, grandma hugs are the best. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stories. If you did, please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments. I reply them all, and see you in the next one.